Hi guys, this is another video. I've got this Hitachi E10 which I've been having a look at on the internet to show you the original listing here, and the seller says it powers on, but it will need new belts to play, and it's £19, so I paid for it and it's arrived a couple of days later. Here's the unit here, just taking out the packaging, and it's well packed as well. Okay, so first thing, just going to check the power cord, make sure there's no cuts and damage. Going to check it from the plug all the way to the machine, and just having a quick look here. Look inside the tape deck, and let me just show you around the unit. It's got phono in and out. And let me just show you here. This is the seller's poster, what they put with it. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is open it up. More than likely it's the belts that are knackered inside. So just get the cover off and let me show you here. I can see a belt missing straight away from the drive motor. Turn it around, belt's missing here. That one's for the counter, that's missing, it's perished. And that's the flat motor belt, that's perished also. And there's a third belt which drives rewind and everything. Here's a bit of a belt here. It's a brown belt and it's melted, and some of sections of it is rock hard, it's brittle. So I'll just remove that, and I'll just remove some other parts. Bits of broken belt that are just lying in the bottom of the cassette deck housing. That's another belt there, sticky. And here you can see me just removing some remnants of the belt, which is more like tar now. Just scraping it off the pulley for the counter. Okay, what I'm going to do is just lift the tape deck out a bit, just so I can work on it better. I'm going to need to get to the underside, so it's just 2 screws here. Get them screws out, and then there's 2 screws on the top here, 2 black screws. And then once they're removed, there's just 4 gold screws, 2 on the top, there's 1 here, and 2 on the bottom. So I'm going to get them out, and this front panel, once you remove the knobs should just come out like so. Once you remove the volume knob, I'll just put this control panel at the top here. So what I've got to do is clean all the remnants of the old belt, because they are now sticky. They were rubber obviously originally. I'm going to use this platinum cleaner here just to clean off the old residue of the belts, as you can see here. I'm just trying to wipe the belt off the this is the actual capstan, the big grey wheel. So I'm just trying to wipe all of the remnants of the belt off here. I'm just using a bit of Brillo to assist, get it nice and clean. Once I've got most of it off, as you can see there, nice and clean. Just get a bit of tissue on it just to dry it up. Okay. See, all the still a little bit dirty, little bits of rubber still left on it. Now this is the pulley for the drive motor. Bits of belt are stuck to that also, so I'm just cleaning that, getting to show you here, bits of melted rubber still on there, and I've got relatively clean here. I'm just at the back end here, Just giving it just getting rid of whatever residues left over. It's not that much now, as you can see there. It's a lot cleaner, but I've still got to give it a good clean. Make sure it's completely clean. Okay, so I've got all the pulleys nice and clean of the melted belts. So what I've got to do now is fit the belts. Let me just show you here, give you a close up. See, that's nice and clean there. Whereas before it had some black belt stuck to it, and the drive there, the motor's drive shaft, that's nice and clean also. All the residue removed. Give you a little close up there. So that's nice and clean, ready for the new belts. And it's 3 belts. So first thing I've got to do is remove this bracket. Once I've got this bracket out the way, you can see the capstan, the big grey wheel there. So I've got to, first thing I've got to do is find the, I've got an assortment of belts here. Just got to find the right size. This one's for the forward and rewind mechanism. This is the draw belt for that, and the play also. So it's just a matter of feeding it around the pulley. It goes on a certain way. A bit difficult to film, but I'll put up a diagram of how it fits. Let me just freeze frame this for you. That's how the belt fits around the drive pulley. Okay, so I've got the belt fitting. I've just tucked it out the way because I've got to put a flat belt on. I've got it on the pulley, so I'll just take it off the pulley and just tuck it onto this bracket here. So I'm going to just lift it up and show you. As you can see here, the belt's supposed to go onto the drive pulley, but I've just tucked it around here temporarily because I've got to put another belt on. I've got to put the main drive belt on for the capstan, and that's a flat belt, as you can see me fitting here. And then that hooks onto the pulley, the main motor pulley. Just spin it a bit, make sure it's seated correctly. And let me just show you here. That's that main flat belt fitted. So now that that's fitted, all I've got to do, just turn it a few times, make sure it's seated correctly. A little close up there. So I'm happy with that. So what I've got to do now is put this belt, which I fitted earlier, just put it onto the actual pulley. As you can see there, the slim belt drives the forwards and rewind, as well as the main mechanism, and the flat belt drives the capstan. And to show you the underside as well, you can see how the belt's fitted. Just show you the best I can with that. So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so it's just a matter of putting this mechanism back. This plastic mechanism is for the record. It attaches to a spring, and I'll just put this bracket back in place. And it just clips in, as you can see there. And then it's just a matter of putting the retaining screw back in and tightening that up. Okay, let me just show you what that looks like with the bracket fitted back on. And I'll just rotate it, make sure the belts are seated correctly, which they are. Just trying to give you the best angle so you know how it goes on. You can see there, both belts are fitted here. That's the capstan. Just turning that. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with that, as you can see. Give you a nice little close-up look there. So that's the 2 belts fitted. Okay, let me just show you here. I'm just going to remove the cassette door. It just clips up and lifts up and it comes away like so. The front cover, the door cover. Because if you look inside here, there's rust. Just highlight that for you, which is unsightly. And I'm going to have to see if I can resolve that. So what I'm going to do, just give it a wipe with some wet wipes. Just give it a clean, get rid of all the dirt and what's not. I'll just show you what that looks like. You can see there. So what I'm going to do now is just mask it off with a bit of paper. Just going to cover the cassette door. And just get another piece to cover the keyboard. And just tuck that round. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray it with some primer. You can see the rust inside there. I'm going to give it, cover it up with some primer so it looks a bit better. Here you can see me just spraying that bottom bracket that was rusty with some primer. And once it's dried, I'll just remove this masking. Obviously, I didn't want any paint to get on the cassette door or the keys. Just show you here. See, it's nice and grey now, as before it had bits of rust on it. Okay, I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is adjust the door damper on the side there. I want it to open nice and slow. And there's a damper on the side here. Let me just get a screwdriver and show you. And you adjust that. It adjusts the speed of the operation to open the door. See, it's nice and slow there. I'm going to tighten it a little bit more because I want it slower. So what I've got to do now, I've fitted 2 belts. I'm just going to fit the 3rd belt, which is for the counter. So I've got to get this bracket off out of the way. There's 2 screws at the top. I'll hold it in place and move the brackets because I've got to fit a belt. Once I've cleaned off the pulley, which I have done, I've got to fit a belt around the play roller. And then it just hooks onto the clock counter, the counter pulley. I'll just show you here. That's the whole thing put together there, and that's the last belt I've just put on for the counter. Okay, so what I'm done, I've put the cassette mechanism back in. I'm just putting the whole thing back together now because I'm going to give it a try and I'm going to give it a clean as well. Okay, next day, it's all put together. Let me just show you. I've connected the whole thing via the phono. There's a phono cable there, output, and it goes into this tiny little Bluetooth speaker, which I've switched on, which you can connect the phono lead to. So, okay, switch it on. You can see it's illuminated nicely. So if I press play, and I will have to keep talking over this because of copyrights, but as you can see, it's playing. It's playing fine. So let me just show you. Put a bit of light on it so you can see the tape turning inside there. And let me just try the forwards. As you can see, the tape spinning there, and rewind, and that's working fine also. Just press play, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. Just get a little close up here. The VU meters moving, ticking away, and you can see the meter there turning, whereas before the belt was missing as it has perished. And just give you a little side view there. So I'm pretty happy with that. So if you just let me just stop that a minute and I'll show you inside. If you remember, I sprayed the little metal panel inside that was rusty. Let me get the tape out. You see the tape up nice and slow. That's that grey part that was rusty before when I've sprayed it. So I'll just pop the tape back in. And with that, thanks for watching once again, and please subscribe